Whenever I think of amazing video game music, there are a few names that come to mind. Shovel Knight, Final Fantasy VII, Nier Automata, Persona 5, hell, even some Sonic games have really good music, but there's one soundtrack that will always have a special place in my heart, and it's none other than Shadow of the Colossus. Now look, I don't know if it's nostalgia or just the fact that it's an amazing game, or, both, but this game will always stick with me, and it's for a lot of reasons. For one, like I said, it's probably nostalgia. I played this a ton with my dad when I was a tiny kid, and it's one of the reasons I got into and started learning about music. Oh, I forgot. No one knows what I'm doing or who I am. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Sidetracked, the show where I get sidetracked and gush over soundtracks instead of doing anything else. I'm so many names. Some may even call me Ramses. I'm a musician and also a gamer. So of course those two things melded into an extreme obsession with video game music to a point where a good, half of my Spotify playlist is just video game music. Huh. So Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite game of all time, like there's nothing that tops it. And through the years I've listened to its music a lot. And you know how after a while of listening to a soundtrack, you start to analyze it and make theories for yourself? And you get hyped, so you tell your friends about it, but it turns out that no one in your group actually plays the game or cares, so you just kind of cast your ideas out into an empty void. You ever do that? Oh, me neither! Other than my sadness, I'm here to talk about my favorite topic, musical storytelling. In most forms of media like movies, shows, games, etc., the music that's played with it supplements the thing you're looking at. The music's either filler to make sure the audience isn't bored, or it helps the storytelling process like in Star Wars. In Star Wars, the music's filled with recurring themes and leitmotifs, and it's like it's telling you what the story of the movie is without you realizing it. The music is kind of like a narrator. Something will happen on screen, and the music tells you what just happened, and sometimes even foreshadows future events. Anyways, Shadow of the Colossus, at least in my eyes, ears, does something else entirely different though. The music you hear isn't telling you what's going on with the story, it's actually telling you what's going on with the main character, Wander. What I mean here is, the music you're hearing is actually Wander's thoughts to himself throughout his journey. Yeah, I know, it sounds dumb as fuck, but trust me, it'll make sense. But before I get to the music analysis, we need to know some backstory. So here's my terrible summary. So the main character, Wander, left his village after jacking a sword, a horse, and some dead chick to go to a forbidden land. He makes his way there because legends say that there's a being that can bring the dead back to life. He wants to resurrect the girl being Mono, because she was sacrificed for she had a cursed fate. Once there, he meets the literal voice of good old STAAN who calls themselves Dorman. This disembodied voice tells Wander to ice 16 giants, and in return, they'll reanimate Mono and everyone will have a happy ending. Alright, now that that's out of the way, I can finally get to what this video is all about, my cracked up imagination. So let's start with the intro. It greets us with a choir, a lone flute, and an instrument called the bouzouki. This is his lonely and uncertain journey into the unknown forbidden land. The bouzouki is used to represent the unknown, aka the mystery that is the forbidden land. At some point, the strings kick in. I believe these represent Wander thinking to himself, wondering if what he's about to do is actually going to work. It feels like there's a sort of defeated hope. It's a constant back and forth of him convincing himself that his plan is going to work, but there's always that doubt in the back of his mind. As he reaches the bridge, he feels closer to his goal and you can hear it. the Bozuki makes another appearance to show that he's officially arrived to the mysterious Forbidden Land. Once he walks into the castle though, he's unnerved at first, cautious with every step. But once he sees the altar, he's filled with a sense of ease and accomplishment because he's finally made it. But then dread hits. What has he done? Will this even work? Was this worth it? A constant worry overtakes him as he takes a step to place Mono on the altar. But he calms a bit as he places her down gently. Because what snapped him out of it was the memory of his beloved insert relation here. So I think this specific cue is Wander thinking about Mono, but in a helpless sort of way. It's different than when he thinks about loss in general. We'll see more examples soon, just hold up. But you see where I'm getting at, yeah? The music coincides with Wander's actions and what he's probably feeling at the time. If it's still kind of bullshit and just seems like normal soundtrack stuff and not at all what I'm getting at, then hey, that's fine, I get it. But it'll make a lot of sense later on. I just need you to, sit the fuck down and listen. Let's talk about Dorman. At some point, Dorman talks about how they may be able to resurrect Mono if Wander does what he's told. The music during the sequence starts out ominous. This godly figure is talking directly to Wander, and he feels pretty on edge. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be while talking to what could be God, but hey, whatever. But once Dorman brings up Mono, the song changes into a kind of requiem. I believe this is Wander thinking about loss, not specifically about Mono. He's thinking about Mono since she's slowly decomposing on that stone slab over there, but there are a few other instances that the song plays that shows it's actually about Wander's grief in general. It's him thinking about the loss he's had to go through throughout his journey. Now, for spoiler reasons, I won't say what it is. This somber piece is immediately met with a sudden transition. This is Wander finding his determination. He's getting ready to do anything it'll take, all to save Mono. Alright, now the game starts and you're on your way to dick around, do tricks on your horse, huck spears at fruit, floor a bunch of big chonk boys, and bomb a bunch of lizards. Where is this dumb motherfucker? Oh! But by the time you eventually get to the first Colossus, however, Wander has second thoughts. He doesn't know what he's up against. He's intimidated, and you can feel it in the music. He's overthinking this, and overall, he's just scared. But it's fine. All you have to do now is make your way up and hope for the best. Oh shit. This is it. The first Colossus. The booming brass envelops you in terror as you're threatened by this monster's presence. Wander has no hope of defeating this massive beast. How can a little human have any chance against this? He's doing all he can to find any sort of opening, but then he sees it. With this advantage, Wander finally sees an open way to kill the Colossus. With his newfound resolve, he knows he can do this. The music changes from this menacing losing battle to one that may be winnable yet, rewarding you for your fighting spirit. Personally, I love the transitions in this game. It's probably the best part about it. It really just pumps you the hell up. After you stab it a few times, you go in for the last one, but then... Although you defeated the Colossus, you don't get a victory fanfare, but instead a requiem. Anyone who talks about the soundtrack will always talk about the importance of this piece. It's honestly an unexpected smack in the face. So people theorize a lot when it comes to this song, and why it's like this and not something to congratulate you after completing your mission. But in the context of Wander, I think he just feels sorry. He sees this as an unfortunate sacrifice, something he's not at all proud of, but it's something he needs to do. The song is melancholic for sure, but there's a small bit of calm towards the end, almost like a moment of acceptance that not a lot of people talk about. It's almost as if Wander hopes that after their death, the Colossus might find peace. And I think it's kinda sweet. Well anyways, after you kill the Colossus, your insides get voided out by a tentacle demon, and you wake up with a shadow dude breathing real hard on top of you and a statue explodes. You did it! You killed an innocent, peaceful creature, you rat fucking bastard. Go on and kill 15 more. Let's move on from the fact that you're a disgusting human being, and let's talk about absolutely nothing real quick. When you're in between golem killings, there isn't any music that plays. Not even a little musical cue like in Breath of the Wild or anything. No, it's just nothing. Now, why is that, you ask? I don't know. I mean, it could be he's just not thinking about anything. His brain turns smooth for the amount of time he's on the road, and his monkey instinct starts screaming again once he needs to fist fight another Colossus. Or it could be that he's just really focused on his goal. I mean, sure, you might not play like you're focused. I know, I don't. It's so stupid. Ooh, 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 I'm going. Ooh. Oh, dude. Oh, I'm in the seaweed. Oh, I'm in. But Wander is determined to let nothing get in his way of bringing back Mono, not even clouding his mind with unnecessary thoughts. Either way, for the most part, it's the same deal throughout the game. You go to Colossus, get scared, kneecap Colossus, get hyped, kill Colossus, get sad, and repeat, with each repeat leading to more dudes circle jerking over your unconscious body. But after killing almost all of them, something doesn't seem right. The constant battles are taking a toll on Wander, and whatever goes into him after every Colossus is changing him. His skin gets paler, his hair gets darker, splotches of dirt stain his skin and clothes, and dark veins faintly run through his body. Something bad is happening to him. His body and mind are slowly getting corrupted, but Wander knows this. Let's make our way to the end. After opening a door by shining a flashlight on it and masterfully jumping over obstacles, You climb all the way to the top of your final goal. And at this point, at this very moment in the game, I realized something outstanding and made this theory I'm trying to prove to you all today. Not from the intro, not from fighting other Colossus, but in what I think is the most important piece in this entire game. A piece called Demise of the Ritual. Here's when we meet Malice, the 16th and final Colossus, Wander's final goal. The music that plays once you meet him is the most oppressive feeling yet. On first listen, anyone would think this was just an intimidating final boss theme, but this is so much more. All of the other battle themes have been loud and exciting orchestrations, but this one is just a slow crawl towards death. Why isn't it a grand boss theme? Well, it's because this isn't a boss theme at all. It's not Malice's, he doesn't have one. This is actually Wander's end theme. What we're hearing is Wander trying to accept the fate that he knows awaits him. See, killing each Colossus is slowly taking bits of Wander's humanity, and killing Malice, debatably the most human looking of them all, will snuff out his last bit of humanity left within him. Knowing this, Wander dreadfully marches towards his doom. At some point you can hear a faint glimmer of hope. Him thinking that hopefully this really can bring back Mono. Hopefully Dorman won't turn their back on the deal. But right after he's hit with anxiety. He knows he won't come out of this to see her again, and if he does, he'll never be the same. He played right into Dorman's plan, and he can't do anything now but to keep on. And that's all he will do. Because he's gone too far and sacrificed too much just to turn back now. After the final blow, you're met again with the same requiem, this time with a different meaning. Wander finally completed his mission, sacrificing himself for the sake of Mono, and finally he rests, hoping that maybe he really did something. Meanwhile, so it turns out that the village shaman didn't like the fact that Wander kind of broke several laws, so he chased his ass down. The shaman sees all the statues have been broken and decides he wants to set everything ablaze in holy fire. But before he can do so, Wander teleports in as a husk of his former self. The shaman decides that it's better to put Wander out of his misery than to let him live as cursed as he is. Wander struggles a bit, and this is where we hear something familiar. Remember at the beginning of the game when he steps into the castle and sets Mono down? The same music that plays when he puts Mono onto the altar is the same as when he reaches out to her during his dying breaths. The same helplessness he felt when looking at her lifeless body in the beginning of the game is felt again while he struggles to save her from the holy men, but fails to do so with his last thoughts being of her. And so Wander dies, and the credits roll. What the fuck is that? So it turns out Wander freed Dorman after killing all 16 Colossians, whatever. The point is, Dorman borrowed his body to take revenge against those who trapped him. Once he transforms and you start playing, we hear this. Hey, wait. Before I show you guys that, I want to show you something else real quick. Also, welcome to a Sidetracked side note, I guess, name pending. The segment of the show where, while editing the video, I was like, fuck, and wanted to throw something in that I thought was really interesting but didn't really fit in the video. Anyways, I was going to show you what played in the game while you were playing as Dorman, but in the soundtrack itself, there's a track called Final Battle, and I can only assume that's either meant for Malice or it's meant to be played while you play as Dorman. I am 100% sure it's meant for Dorman though, and I'll let you listen for a bit and then explain why. Now if you listen closely, it has bits and pieces of basically every battle theme in the game. It's a mishmash of every Colossus theme, just like how Dorman is every single Colossus put into one. I thought it was just really cool, but the only thing that it doesn't have is the theme that plays when you fight Malice. Why is that? Well, this goes back to my theory that I was just about to basically prove to you all before I, interrupted myself. Okay, well, back to the show. Just pretend I wasn't here. Carry on. Okay, bye. It's the same theme that played when you fought Malice. The same one that I said was meant for Wander. Why would the game play this again? Because the meaning of the piece hasn't changed. On the contrary, it cemented the fact that this isn't a track for Malice at all, or even Dorman. But it was all just Wander being scared of the inevitable end he was going to have to face. And even now, during that end, his hopes and fears still linger on, even while Dorman crushes the Holy Guards. Eventually, the Shaman and his Holy Mary crew piece the fuck out and seal Dorman away in a well. Dorman loses their form and all that's left is Shadow Wander clinging on. We hear yet again the somber requiem that plays when you kill a Colossus as Wander gets sucked into the well. And just like each time it's played before, even though it's melancholic sounding, it has a bittersweet but peaceful end to it. Although the circumstances are different, the meaning hasn't changed much. He sees himself as an unfortunate but worthy sacrifice to bring back the one he loves. And he's at peace, knowing that he did everything he could. Alright, well that was me rambling for, however long this video is. I hope you enjoyed and maybe agreed with me in my weird-ass theory. Either way, moral of the story is, Wander's a simp. Again, this is all just for fun. I'm not saying this is the real-ass truth or anything like that. It's just me appreciating a good soundtrack. I'm legally obliged to tell you, because I just posted a YouTube video, to like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. And most importantly, treat yourself to a good time and play this fucking game. The soundtrack's amazing, the visuals are gorgeous, and it's just so fun. It really is worth every second. Again, thank you for watching.